How's it going, guys? I'm Connor from Running Warehouse, and I'm here with Paul Lang, Senior Merchandising Manager at ASICS, and today we're going to be taking a deep dive into what could just be the most historic shoe in the ASICS lineup. We've got the ASICS Gel Kayano 30. Now, Paul, making it to 30 is a big deal, and now with the latest update, we've got some pretty drastic changes that are still going to retain a lot of those key philosophies that the Kayano is known for.
Yeah, the Kayano for us is really a flagship in terms of performance running and what it's meant to our brand and all of our consumers over the years. The Kayano initially was, brought to us in 1993. Designer Toshikazu Kayano brought this incredible stability trainer to the marketplace. That was a shoe that really made us who we were in the eyes of the consumer. That it brought another whole set of runners to the ASICS brand, and since then we've really been the leader in protection through Kayano. But as runners evolve, so do shoes, and with Kayano 30, we're really excited to kind of readdress how we stabilize or protect the foot and hopefully welcome a whole new generation of runners to the Gel Kayano franchise.
Yeah, and taking a look at the shoe, the first thing that stands out to me is going to be this midsole underfoot. We've got more stack, a new compound. Tell us what is inside this shoe.
Yeah, so from a base layer foam, we've got our Flight Foam Blast Plus Eco. So it's one of our more sustainable foams underfoot. It's soft, it's light, it's got some bounciness. We've actually been able to add 4 millimeters of stack under the foot and still stay at about 300 grams or so on a men's version. So we're really excited with how plush we're gonna be able to have this shoe, while it's still gonna deliver maximum protection. So another thing that you might have noticed, because it is a big visual difference from the last shoe, there's no more visual gel. You don't have to worry, gel's still there. We've got pure gel inside of the shoe. It's gonna work in conjunction with that Flight Foam Blast Plus Eco. Pure gel is actually 65% softer than the gels we were using before, so we're still gonna get that cloud-like feel, maybe even a little softer than what we were used to before.
Wow, so Flight Foam Blast plus the pure gel, you're gonna get that maximum comfort, that really highly cushioned experience. But another key component of the Kayano is the stability. Yes. Do we still have that same highly stable experience for overpronators of all levels?
We do, and we're going to introduce a brand new system of stability. It's an adaptive stability system. It's called 4D Guidance. And so what this is going to consist of is really 3 parts. It's a holistic system. We're going to start in the rear here. So we've got this great kind of beveled geometry that's going to take that foot. It's going to slow down that initial pronation. What we're going to run into next are these really wide base nets that's going to help distribute the body weight. It's going to be a nice stable platform under. And then lastly, we've got kind of this adaptive foam piece that's going to sit right through the arch. The goal of this is to return that arch back to the neutral position as soon as possible. So really the shoe's working with you in real time to keep that foot stabilized, protected, but keep it as smooth of a transition and feel underfoot as we can. We want to have a max protection shoe with the feeling of just luxurious comfort.
And stability shoes in the past have always been kind of associated with a stiff medial post, and now seeing a lot of these new applications, are you still getting that same amount of stability but with a little bit more natural experience?
Yeah, so I think in the past you really would see a more dense foam that would kind of deaden the blow or work to act as an added durability to where the foot was breaking the shoe down. In the instance of the 4D guidance system, this is actually the most energetic part of the foam setup, and so the work of this piece is to really bring that foot back to the neutral position as quickly as possible. So I think, it's going to feel almost like an energized protection. It's really going to help that foot get to where it needs to be, which you might not even notice if the shoe is doing its job and you just feel like you're having a great run.
Yeah. Now, moving on down to the outsole, we talked a little bit about those wider net bases that really provide that inherent stability, but can you tell us about the rubber compound?
Yeah, you're going to see our familiar AHAR, so that's that ASICS high abrasion rubber back in the rear foot. We really want to, maintain durability, but you'll also see all these flex grooves working through. So, we want to make sure that the shoe can move with you. And so right through that forefoot especially, we're going to see the toes kind of pushing off. We're going to stabilize in the rear. We're going to give you that durability, but we're going to allow that foot to naturally push through and really get to that next step as soon as we can.
Now, finishing the shoe off, we've got the new upper design, and when I think of Kayanos of the past, it's always this premium, luxurious feel that just allows you to go mile after mile. Now taking a look at this shoe, it seems like the evolution continues.
Yeah, so it's, the idea of this shoe is really protection, but we don't want to be so focused on that we lose sight of the fact that it's got to be a comfortable shoe. And so you can see it's really plush materials around that collar, a nice plush tongue. Step-in is just going to feel comfortable, and that's what we want, but at the same time, we've got the peace of mind that knowing that we're fully protected with that 4D guidance system.
And is there any elements of the upper specifically built to create a little bit more supportive experience?
Yeah, so I think anytime you see a more guidance-built shoe, you're going to see a little bit more structure in the upper. The mesh is set up in a way that, we are going to support that foot, but it's going to breathe and move where it needs to.
Wow, Paul, well, every part of this shoe is so well thought out and built to deliver that luxurious on-foot experience, and I think that's why people come back to the Kayano year after year. But for someone who has maybe worn this shoe for 10 years, are they still gonna find that the Kayano is a shoe to add to their training lineup?
Yeah, I think the whole idea of Kayano since the beginning has been protection, right? So there's no changes. You're still going to get all that protection. This idea of adaptive stability through the 4D guidance system is going to provide all the protection that Kayano wearers, whether it's from Kayano Trainer 1 all the way through 29, have loved. But I think it also opens up the idea that now this is a shoe that maybe other runners can try.
Yeah, I think that's what intrigues me, because I think maybe over the past few years when I've seen the Kayano in hand, I thought, maybe it's just a little bit too much support for me. As a neutral runner, I maybe was leaning to a shoe like the Nimbus. Now with the Kayano, do you feel like this is something that pretty much any runner could use?
Yeah, it's still going to be protection oriented. It's still going to provide that support you need, but I do think that it's going to adapt to different runners in different ways. And so I think that, for those of you that have tried the Kayano before, you may try it on and love it. And for those of you that haven't tried the Kayano, I invite you to come give it a try.
Yeah, well, I've got my pair, and for the runners at home that are looking to try the ASICS Kayano 30 for yourselves, you can find it very soon here at Running Warehouse.